it was almost like me telling myself to like, hey, it's not that deep. You're doing it for the music. Make it needs to be fun. It needs to put a smile on people's face.
What's up, y'all? I'm Kelly Clarkson.
Hey, it's Dave McRae.
Hey, I'm Josh from the band Need to Breathe.
I'm Olivia Lunny.
We are so excited to welcome to the Kelly Alexander Show, Akon. Hi.
What up, Kels?
Hey, I'm Judy Gold.
And I'm hanging out with the Kelly Alexander Show.
This is Jordan, and I'm hanging out on the Kelly Alexander Show.
I'm Rob, and I'm hanging out on the Kelly Alexander Show.
I'm hanging out with the Kelly Alexander Show right now.
Jealous?
I am very excited to have this guy back on the show, Zoya. He's got an EP out called It's Always Sunny in Glendale. Crazy Stupid Love, the single. He's on tour. There's much to discuss. Zach, welcome back to the show.
What's up, Kelly? Thanks for having me again.
I'm super excited to see you. So first of all, I have to start with the fact that I think since the last time we saw each other, you've moved to Los Angeles.
I sure have. Yeah.
So
lots happened.
That decision come about? Because I know like when we first chatted, like, you know, you had already come from like up north Quebec. So it was like a deal to come to Montreal in the first place. And then what led to the decision to go south of the border?
Right. That was always kind of the roadmap. Obviously, as a musician in Canada, you kind of want to end up in the States at some point, or at least do a stint over there. So I was going to do it back in 2020 when I first got signed to a major label and like the thing was starting to pick up. But then, the pandemic happened and everything kind of closed down. So we put that on on hold for a minute. So that was always like literally since 2020, it's always been at the back of my mind, like eventually that would happen. And then, sometime it's been a year and a half, almost 2 years now. So at that point, waiting to get a visa and like all the behind the scenes. And then when we got it, we made the move and, that's the story.
And what was the biggest, I guess we'll start with biggest challenge for moving.
Well, at first it was definitely the visa. Like there's a whole process. The Americans don't just let anybody in, as we painfully know right now. So that was a whole process. As an artist, you kind of have to prove your worth or like your portfolio, your resume type thing. Kind of have to sell your sauce. So I did that. And then one thing that I kind of underestimated was the whole moving process. Like America's very different. It's more different than I would have thought, especially the West Coast. Like we're an East Coast city. Montreal's similar to New York more than LA. So like adapting to, it was kind of a culture shock. I'm not gonna lie, like a very car centric city. You can't just walk around like in Montreal. People are very different also culturally. One thing about LA specifically, nobody's from LA. So everybody's kind of like, which is a good and a bad thing, I think. There's a weird sense of community or lack thereof, or like it's very decentralized in a weird way. So that I'm still wrestling. I'm still learning, the ins and outs of LA as we speak,
Where did you, or how did you choose which neighborhood you were going to move to?
I had a friend over there, shout out to Kyle Dion, who already lived over there, fellow artist who's from Florida. It just so happened that when I got my visa, there was a room there. So I just moved in with him. So Glendale it was. I'm happy I made that decision because I'm kind of outside of the action. So I'm not really like in Hollywood. Hollywood can get quite hectic. So Glendale was.
Amazing. And when you say like different senses of community, can you talk to us about that a little bit? Because I've interviewed some other Canadian artists who have made the move to LA, and some of them say that they all kind of find each other, like Canadian artists find each other. And then I've had other ones say that like it was super taxing on them and they couldn't wait to move back to Canada. So like and then others who were like, no, I'm good. Like I'm in here, I'm good. So where are you following right now on the roller coaster ride?
Right. So I would like agree with all three of those. I think one thing I have to give a big shout out to SOCAN and like my fellow Canadians, because SOCAN, I don't know what it stands for again, but like the organization that basically supports artists from Canada is shout out Raquel from SOCAN, is very adamant and very proactive and making sure we have a group chat with all the fellow musicians from Canada. So there is that sense of community. When you go over there, you do kind of tap in with all the Canadians, like, oh, you're from Canada, do you have a studio there? Who do you work with? Like, we do network in that way. And I would say it is, I think, you kind of, from my experience, you kind of have to have an in to feel like part of a community. I think if you go there very solo dolo with nobody, if you don't know anybody, it's I feel like it would be very hard. And people are not really like, I feel like Montreal is very like, everybody's kind of like help each other for, without expecting anything in return, very tight knit, very just like we do it for the art. LA, it's like the competition is fierce, so people are a bit more guarded and just like letting you in on their friend group. So I think you're gonna have a good experience if you kind of have a sponsor over there. If you have somebody that's kind of like, hey, come with me, let me introduce you to my world. And then once you're in a bubble of like fellow musicians or fellow artists or just fellow friends, honestly, then life is normal, if anything. Once you're within a group, like a bubble. Other than that, I do agree that it can be very taxing. There's the networking over there is a business. Like every party, every social interaction could be the one that makes or breaks you. So there's like this type of tension. Everybody's trying to be on their best behavior, but also everything hinges on it. So it makes it kind of like unnatural at times. But also beautiful people, and it's a city full of artists. So,
Yeah. Got it. So talk to us then about the EP. It's Always Sunny in Glendale. I read that you were kind of recording it like some in Montreal, some in LA. So talk to us about
Yeah.
that and then why you decided to call it It's Always Sunny in Glendale.
Yeah, so first of all, yeah, most of the music is music I actually made back in Montreal, or at least started back in Montreal. It was kind of like a pivot for me to maybe move away from the rap route that I had. I feel like I was maybe labeled, especially in Quebec, as a rapper specifically, and I kind of wanted to showcase the rest of the things I had to offer. Also, in the current industry with TikTok, social media, I felt like it had to be a very like, I don't want to say non-performative, but like everybody sees you every day. So it has to be, I felt like it had to be something kind of like not attainable, but like that I wanted to make goofy music, for lack of a better, and I don't use it as like a derogatory. It's like really like happy music. I felt like we just came out of the pandemic. Everybody just wants to be happy type thing. So I really needed this music had to be light. It had to be sunny. It had to be, hey guys, it's not that deep. Let's just have fun. I think personally, I'll speak for myself. You get caught up at being a musician. It's a very big ego trip. People are flat patting you on the back at all times, so like you can feel like you're the guy. And I kind of had to, it was almost like me telling myself to like, hey, it's not that deep. You're doing it for the music. Make it needs to be fun. It needs to put a smile on people's face. So that's really what the intention behind that whole EP was. And it's called It's Always Sunny in Glendale because I'm in Glendale and it's always sunny. One thing that I took for granted in Montreal is that we have like seasons, right? We have like cardinal, like we have 4 very vivid seasons. And like it makes summer feel that much better because we get the -30, -40 weather and like everything. LA is just like one continuous day. And it's just like, ugh. And like a postcard, it's nice, but like when you live there, sometimes it's almost, I'm saying it almost ironically, where it's like, it's always sunny in Glendale, type thing.
It's funny because I met a waitress once in Florida and she was from New York and I think she'd been in Florida for like this was around Orlando and she said she'd been there like 8 months or a year and she's like, I'm pretty sure in the next 4 months I'm moving back to New York because she's like, I can't handle that it's this every day, which was crazy
Yeah.
what you just said. So it's a thing, I guess.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, there's some that feels kind of Black Mirror dystopian about like having a bad day in a paradise
Yeah.
scenery. Like there's some that doesn't. It's nice like when it's rainy outside, when it's gray, when there's sludge on the ground and like there's traffic and it's cold and you're having a bad day, there's a comfort to it. But if it's beautiful outside, it's like, golly, give me a break,
How far have you evolved as an artist since Start Over? and to now? Like where do you like how do you feel you've evolved? What's going on?
It's funny, Kelly. Like, Start Over is a song, and I'm sure you know, I'm sure all fellow artists will relate to that. Music is always kind of delayed, right? Now the industry is changing, but like, Start Over is a song I made when I was 18. It was like, when it dropped was already 3 or 4 years old. It's a song that had been sitting in the bank for a minute. So it's very confusing to be like, well, creatively, that song, I made it inspired by how I felt at 19, whatever. And then it dropped at when I was 20, 21, 22, and it gave it a new life. And now I perform it and I'm a new person. So I give it a different meaning almost. And now we're like 3, 4 years later to that. So like it's very confusing. The easy answer would be, hey, I've grown so much and my art has evolved so much, Kelly. Like I'm such a different person. But it's like it's always that when you're in the world of music. So I would feel like I almost did a if I was to show you what I did yesterday in my hotel room in the studio, it's almost a full circle. I'm almost back on some start over type of sound because in that time, like basically in the pandemic, I went, yo, I made some rock songs, I made some alternative songs, I made some super rap songs, I made some drumless beat type of raps, I made some other pop stuff, I made some edgier pop, and like it's so much music in the bank that I don't get to like show in real time. That like now I'm back to like kind of light, kind of universal, sounds good singer pop, I think. But hey, if we were to have this interview tomorrow, my mind will be changed. So hey,
Do
who
you
knows?
have a goal? Like, I'm not sure what the goal is as an artist, like knowing that you've already had radio play and radio success in your home country of Canada. Like, is that always in your brain somewhere that like you want to get radio play, or is it more like I'm good with my Spotify and the playlist that I'm on, and people will find me that way on my social media? Like, I'm curious to know where your head is at, knowing you've already had radio success with several songs.
Yeah, I would definitely. Hey, come on, Crazy Stupid Love out now. Like, of course you wanna maintain. Personally, I want to maintain a radio presence, and there's kind of like this cheat code in Canada where like the radio is like kind of a traditional, more like established media that's almost like separate from the streaming services. So it reaches people that I would otherwise never reach. So I think I definitely want to like tap into that and use that to my advantage and like connect with people. I'm in Kelowna right now, and some people know my songs not because of Spotify and Instagram, but because of Canadian radio. And so of course, I want to maintain a presence there. That being said, of course, I think the dream, and any artist would tell you that you want people to find you through your Spotify. You kind of want, you know, you want your. I personally want my songs to reach as many people as possible. I think in that way, radio has its limitations. But hey, anything, any way, if there's a new app tomorrow that makes me connect in a different way to new people, I'm on it. Like I'm in a place. Music is in a really challenging place right now. I think like social media, like the political climate, like everything is so weird. Like Spotify, like all the streaming services, are we getting paid? Are we not getting paid? Feels like the economy is not doing great, so people are going like I feel like there's more strain. I feel like art is doing well when people have disposable income. When life gets harder, artists are more needed, but there's less resources for them. So I'm at a place in my life right now where hey, if I can just live off of my art and share this beautiful moment with people and have shows and perform in front of people, and that keeps me going, I'm happy. Like the expectations, I have this roadmap where I'm gonna get a radio hit and then we're gonna go to the Grammy. Like that whole strategy, to me, the world is changing so much so rapidly. There's no point in me having this like long term goals and short term like, hey, we're in the trade war right now. Like like it changes by the minute. There's no point in me like putting that type of pressure on myself. If that makes any sense.
How do you feel about social media? Because as you mentioned, like you want to connect, and there's many different apps now that are doing that. Like we know Instagram, we know TikTok, like Facebook, the list goes on and on. Do you need space from it, or are you okay to like post a lot and be super active in your social media? Do you have someone that does it for you? Because like I know sometimes like I personally need a break from it because it's just constant. You always feel like you're behind, and I feel like sometimes you can get like, oh, I'm not doing enough or whatever.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we're working for this big machine type thing now. That's extremely demanding. It's extremely tiring. It waters down the type of art that I make personally. There's so much music that I can't really showcase because it's not social media friendly. It's too long to fit within the vertical format. Like, it wasn't meant for that. So, and then it starts trickling down into my creative process where now when I'm making new music, I'm thinking about how is this going to look in a vertical format? Like, oh, I need to get to the hook faster because otherwise people are swiping away. Like, that's definitely I'm struggling with that. To be fair, I think every artist is struggling with that, especially if you're from like the old days where like I started making music in the SoundCloud days where it's like there's no visuals, there's nothing. People listen to your music. It's unreleased, it's free, it's on there. You can literally it's unmixed. It's not a final version. People are loving it for the music itself. That to me is what got me into music. I was like, oh yes, yes, we can just share this thing. It's changed a lot since then. It I definitely need a break sometimes, and I try to, but there's this constant tension between the need to, hey, I haven't been on social media for 3 days. Like, I need to post something. And yeah, I don't have an answer for you. Long story short, don't have an answer for you. I think you still need to put yourself out there and like find new solutions to still connect with your audience. Cause it's not like we're never going back to no social media, no TikTok, no Facebook, no, none of these things. So we have to find a way. Well, the kids are inventive and are creative, and I see people younger than me, older than me, find new ways to like be funny, be compelling, and be interesting and creative using the social media that we have right now. So I try to not be defeatist and find new ways to stay creative and enjoy what I'm doing. And I'm getting there. It's just like sometimes what you like to do is not what's going to give you viral moments, and vice versa. Everybody's kind of looking for virality. To me is an infection, no pun intended, but like a virus type thing. I think it's really bad. Like if everybody's trying to do the biggest thing all the time, it's kind of like, you know, that I don't think that should be the headspace you're in when you're making a song. It's kind of like, it's not really it. But hey, who am I? Who am I to say?
You are on tour right now. Talk about what it's been like for you to cross Canada, because is this your first time doing that? Answer that one first, and then talk to us about what we can expect when you come to, I'm going to call it your hometown of Montreal.
Yes. So first time driving across Canada. We're in a van, all the boys together. Shout out Busty and the Bass, who we're touring with right now. We're in Kelowna right now. We have a show tonight, and then we have Vancouver, Victoria, and then back in Montreal. It's beautiful so far, Kelly. I'm loving it. It's really good for the soul. Like I feel like I really needed that. I was talking earlier about the whole TikTok and social media and how music is changing, but right now it really feels like hey, we're living and breathing music. We have shows every day. We're busy. I'm also opening for a band that is really about the music first. So that's immensely inspiring. It really makes me fall in love with music all over again. And I'm happy to be doing it in Canada. It came in really, really, the timing is beautiful because America is kind of, hey, America's doing America right now. And I'm back home for the whole, as everything is falling apart, call it what you want. Um, hey, super happy to be here. I missed Christmas this year, so this is a good excuse for me to be back in Canada. I just crossed the Rockies. We were in Banff. Like, life is good.
Amazing. Now, I have a couple of Montreal questions for you because you are coming home. So first of all,
Yes.
when you do come to Montreal, what is the like where do you have to go? Like what restaurant do you need to go eat at? Like what do you need to do?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to be tapped out. I'm not as tapped in as I used to be with the Montreal gastronomy, like the cool restaurants and everything. What's the latest? Like I'll for sure go to La Banquise again. Hit a
Yep.
good old poutine before I leave. What else? What else? I haven't been really. where did I go? Polo, you got some recommendations for me? ACC, like where's there some good food? Foie gras,
Oh, very good.
foie gras, tap in.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's all I got for you, Kelly. Like I'm not. If you have recommendations, please, I'm looking for spots.
What do you miss most about, though, like whether it's Montreal or Canada in general when you are in the States? Is it like Oreo cookies? I don't know. Like what do you what do you miss?
The first thing that comes to mind is really the sense of community. It's people's the social interactions. I feel like, hey, I don't want to brag too much, but Canadians, we are really polite. We are really like genuine in our interactions, just like little things of life where it's like people give you smiles, people say hi and look at you in your face, people ask if you need help, like all these little things that make you feel. And I don't know if that's just because I'm home, so it feels home. But hey, oh my God, like, yeah, Canadians are amazing.
Amazing. Um, what do you want to say to your Montreal fans? What message do you have?
Keep on showing love. Keep on pulling up to the shows because we need y'all and y'all need us. I think this is a give and give relationship. Buy merch, buy your favorite artists, CDs, vinyl, go on Bandcamp and actually purchase their music. I think we're in an age now where you kind of have to start proactively be intentional with like what you like and what everything is free nowadays, so you pay with your attention and you pay with ads. I think it's a good time to start being very intentional with what you're doing. So come to the show March 14th. Come and see us jam. Ask for Crazy Stupid Love on radio, or ask for any other song of mine on radio, or any Canadian artist or any artist in the world. Actually, if you like them, go and be intentional. Hey, I want to hear this person. Hey, go to the shows. Don't wait for things to be convenient. I think, and of course, I mean, it's easier said than done. But I always appreciate all the love. Montreal has always been, it's always been a home base, and people show me an extreme amount of love, and I'm always eternally grateful. So thank you to y'all, Montreal. Love y'all.
Amazing. Zach, thank you so much for doing this and continued success.
Of course. Thank you so much, Kelly.
That is Zach Zoya. Do not forget to hit him up on all of his social media accounts and follow him and see what he's got up to. And of course, make sure you support him when he's out on tour and here in Montreal on the 14th of March. And again, in social media at Zach Zoya. Hey, it's Kelly Alexander, and thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kelly Alexander Show, so you are the first in line for all the cool content coming your way.